Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel for that matter. Today's video is hopefully, give or take quite a bit, gonna be on Manchukuo. If you do like this video, please like, subscribe and turn your post notifications on. When you do subscribe, so you never miss another upload from me. And let me explain why I seem quite annoyed. If anyone thought I was annoyed, that is correct. I am very much annoyed right now. And that is because this is not my first time filming, nor is it my second. It's probably my third try of filming this video. First try ended because I showed something that really shouldn't be on camera, personal information wise, which I didn't think was going to show up, but it did for whatever stupid reason. So I'm pretty annoyed about that. Second one just botched immediately. So this is my third attempt at filming this today. Luckily, I know a few more things about the focus tree now, so technically there are positives to it, but it's pretty annoying that we have to start for the third time of doing this. Now, I obviously know that, just pre-warning here, when I open the focus tree, it's going to say up in the top right, my sort of player name, which is HOI4 guy. That is just simply a random name that I used to be able to play multiplayer with my friend. That's just the explanation for that one. I cannot change it right now. I'll change it after filming. But yeah, just explaining that one. In fact, I might actually keep it because it's quite a funny thing. But for now, when we're opening focuses, we're simply going to open them using the focus tab along the top and not via the flag, just so everyone's aware. That's how we're going to do it for this video. Now, we're going to quickly get into it here. That's not what I meant to press. As you can see, these are console commands I used in the previous game, because obviously I recorded it until it failed miserably to do anything beyond that. So let's focus on getting back here to here. And right, now we're here, we can go straight through and do all the things we need to do here. Which luckily we can amend a couple of mistakes we made in the other one. So we need to do all these. This is going to be quite slow, I do apologise, but let's get through it as quickly as we can. And then we can get back into it here. Also might need to change my HOI4 account name, because for whatever reason, like my actual account name is not like e-gaming, which it should be. It's like my actual full personal name. I don't understand why. It is on private, which is good, but I don't know how to change it, but I know I need to, because I cannot be having that. Like, if it was to suddenly slip out in a video, that's the entire video scrapped. Like, I know some people say, oh, just edit it out. I just don't feel like it, because there's still a risk that I'm not yet good enough to edit it out and could go badly. So yeah, the answer is, that's the reason I'm having to film again. Because of that reason. It's annoying. I'm aware. Not happy about it. It needs to change as quickly as possible. So I will be changing that after filming today. So yeah, that will change, don't worry. And hopefully it'll never happen again, that we have to have this issue. Which would be nice. But I don't know. If I can change it to like be e-gaming, then it'd be better, because that way you guys, if I was to just go over it, then it doesn't mean I have to scrap my video, because you guys can just know that my account name is e-gaming, because it is. Like, even my Steam name is e-gaming, because obviously if it was to show on camera accidentally, it's better it's the same name as my channel, rather than my actual name, because less risk to that. But yeah, we move. Right, so we're going to go down to do some things a little bit differently than we did previously. We're going to persuade the IMPRP, and then we'll do this here, and then Independence War also gets bypassed. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's if you want to go communist, isn't it? It is. So the oh, okay, that yeah, makes sense. Right, so right, okay. Right. This is me just understanding the focus tree a little bit. So the idea of going down there with the IMPRP is that it's supposed to lead possibly to a communist focus tree. However, obviously we're not going that direction, as we're definitely going to be staying more on the side of, well, I'd like to go monarchist, to be fair, because it's just a much more interesting way of going about this, to be fair. But we'll do alliance with the army people thing. Then we'll go into the decisions here, and we'll hunt down bandits. No, we'll recruit the northern bandits, recruit the western ones, recruit the eastern bandits, recruit the bandit remnants, and then we'll recruit the Korean bandits as well. We will not be releasing the bandits because that will literally destroy all of my divisions that I've just deployed, and that is not good because we need them. So we will be keeping them all here because it's very important. Then we'll raise the banners here, and then we'll create underground workshops, and finally divert machine tooling as well, just to add another thing on top because why not. So yeah, we'll crack on here. Hopefully this should have covered up for the last 20 minutes of filming that I did before this, at this point, I'm hoping. But who knows. Right. There you go. 24 divisions being assigned here. Now we will move to get some command power, which will help us assign this Mongol looking general to a field marshal here. It looks like it was served under Genghis Khan, so that's the only reason he's being hired. Very key note that. Then we'll assign him. Now we'll look towards trying to achieve a surprise attack on Japan over here, because the main goal is we want to basically take this bit of Japan, then take the other bit of Japan, and then move on to another bit of Japan as well, because we want to strike as much as we can when possible, let's be honest. And then we'll see who else we can assign. We've got 17 more divisions, so we'll assign them all over here to another general. This general will be very much focused on trying to push as quickly and as effectively as possible down into Dalian, and trying to take all of that front as quickly as possible, so that way we can assign both of them to go over to the Korean Peninsula and begin work there. Or at least that's the idea anyway. Whether it works or not is to be seen. Obviously Japan is very much going to get naval supremacy pretty quickly out here. Obviously, because it's Japan and they've got a massive navy, so you're going to see the sea zones go red pretty quickly here, and there's not much we can do about it because we literally only have one ship, and there isn't much one ship is going to do against probably well over 100 ships of the Japanese navy. So to anyone who thinks we might try to fight it, no, we're going to very much let the Japanese have naval supremacy, naval dominance, whatever they want to call it. We'll let them have that, and we'll fight for it eventually once we get into a better position naval-wise. Because obviously this is very much the beginning of our navy, and we are nowhere near where we want to be in terms of naval tonnage. And when we do get that, then we can potentially challenge the Japanese for control over contested waters. But for the minute, we will let them have them with no sort of quarrel about it at all. But as you can see, they've finally got troops in North Korea, or just Korea, which obviously we were expecting them to do, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to try and sit here and say that they're not going to deploy when they clearly are, because it's their territory and they want to protect it when they're at war and they have an open border, and they're clearly going to push across the border here soon anyway. That is also expected for them to do. I'm not going to try and stop them at the minute because, well, physically I can't. I'm focusing on other fronts and other matters. But now we're both finished on that matter, we can now actually go over and try and help out and take back all of Korea under our control. Once we have Korea, the next stop will be quite literally going over to our lovely People's Republic and helping them out a bit in order to keep control of them as much as possible. Obviously, in the process of deploying troops here, the Japanese will get a chance to strike in some regions that we may not want them to strike in, but obviously we can't get there quick enough to stop them doing that. So what we can do is effectively try and mitigate the risks of them taking too much. Once we get all our troops here, which you'll see now we're currently doing, we can then start the offensive back into our territory, take back the territory, re-establish the border, and then destroy the border entirely, because why would we have a border that doesn't help us when we want to take territory? Like, our main goal here is gain the territory, and we can go forward from there. Because, I don't know, did the Qing actually control South and North Korea? I don't know. Possibly, possibly not. We'll see. We'll see what else we can do here. I mean, I think decisions-wise, we should definitely do war propaganda. It's important. Improve worker conditions, also probably quite a good one to do. Here. Then we can also choose to do anti-party raids. Basically, we can raid parties we don't like, which is historical for anyone, to be fair. Scroll down, and then we can do nation building there. And we will eventually do police action in their state to flip their ideology back to what it should be, and what mine is, so that's good. Obviously, as you can see here, we're pushing heavily into North Korea here. South Korea has not yet been pushed into, shall we say, but obviously Japan is probably feeling at this point that they are definitely on the back foot and should probably pull back to a full back line. But for whatever reason, I never see the AI actually take the initiative to push to a full back line and try and attrition the enemy, which I think would be just annoying if they did, to be fair. But yeah, very much pushing forward as quickly as possible here. I'm not sure why the Japanese have a massive heavy tank trying to roll across the territory of South and North Korea, but they do. Don't know why. It ain't going to help them much, to be fair. They're better off using cavalry or infantry, or irregular battalions for that matter, because they do more damage than their heavy tanks would. I mean, even motorized divisions would be better in this terrain, to be fair. But who knows? They're probably thinking something well across the line different. But our main goal here is not to worry about that. It is to worry about taking the territory as quickly as possible so that we can go and help out our ally / puppet. Should probably actually train some divisions here. Rangers might be new, or it's got a new logo, I don't know. We will do the I think we should do the Northeast counter Japanese division, to be fair. Just seems like a fun option. We'll do that indeed. We'll deploy a bunch of these, as many as we can here, with the hope of them deploying as rapidly as possible here. I don't know how long it'll take them to deploy or be ready to deploy. I'm hoping it's not that long, because they could be quite useful here in a moment, especially against the war going on in other places. Right, we'll wait for them to deploy eventually. We need to rapidly remobilize our force here to take on more sort of tasks. So we'll put a front line there, and then we'll get a front line drawn here. That way we can immediately mobilize as soon as we clean up these pockets to mobilize up, help the People's Republic, and then get back to work on other things as well. So, yeah, going well so far, to be fair. So that's good. Just need to keep going, keep pushing forward, and eventually we'll get to where we want to be, which is not too bad. This run is, not gonna lie, going better than my last run, which is really good. It's good to see that the run is going better, and we're making progress quicker and better than we were before, which is honestly really good to see. Now, as soon as we push Japan out here, I'm hoping there's an option that we can sort of white peace with them, because obviously I don't want to have to fight in the Japanese mainland. I just don't feel like doing that, and I don't think any of the soldiers probably do either, to be fair. So it's a sort of fact of, as soon as we can go to a peace conference or white peace or whatever, the better and more well off we'll probably be from that option. We'll assign these guys to them. Right, so we've got two fronts here really to deal with. We got the one front with South Korea, and we got the one front with the last remnant of North Korea. The idea here is to take out the last remnant of North Korea, or, well, I mean, it's technically Japan for both of them. I'm just referencing the region they're in is like as modern day countries. They're in the modern day North Korea, they're in the modern day South Korea. And I'm just saying North Korea, South Korea, just so it's easier for me to understand where they are and what they're doing. And speaking of that, the Japanese have launched a major invasion, which is not looking good for us, which isn't fun. Put focus on here in order to hopefully get some things done. We'll do mobilization efforts here. Then I'll also put a front line on here before they take all the territory. So that way when the pocket completes, we can immediately move over there as well. The Japanese have got a lot up in the sort of remnant pocket of North Korea, which is quite surprising. I didn't think they were going to have that many troops up there, but we will eventually get them, so it won't be too bad of an issue. South Korea, we're pretty much almost finished with that invasion. as such, so that's pretty good. We should be finished with them pretty soon as well, because our troops are out of supply and don't have much left. And we're slowly progressing up north, which is also good to see, but obviously not as quickly as I'd like to be progressing, to be fair. I'd like to be going a lot quicker, but we will eventually speed up and we should get that speed back. But it'd be nice to get some troops out soon, because we are getting low on them to an aspect. I mean, the Japanese are advancing pretty quickly, so it'd be quite nice to get some more of our units to try and keep the Japanese at bay a little bit, but we'll see. Right, so we'll continue to push down here South Korea. I'm just waiting for South Korea to effectively surrender, or one of the pockets to clean up at this point, because as soon as one of the pockets cleans up, we effectively can just move down to the next bit. That's already got a front line. We really just need a pocket cleaned up entirely, and then we can move them over to the massive Japanese naval invasion that they did, and we can basically start to surrender that one and work on that, and work on getting ourselves back into this one. Offensive sort of ideas, which would be quite nice to get back into, because currently we're sort of more on a defensive stand, where we're trying to sort of defend and attack a few tiles, obviously, but we're more defensive than we are offensive. So we really want to change onto the offense here as quickly as possible, so that then we can start pushing forward as quick and as much as possible. Sorry about that. Just took a second there. Right, so we're moving troops across now officially, which is very good. Is there a chance to surrender with the Japanese soon? You would hope there would be. But then again, I don't know. Like, I really do not know. Oh, okay. I have no idea. Well, they've surrendered, but I don't really want much of their territory. I want it to go to our ally or puppet. So I just let them take that. And that's good for me. Like, they don't have a navy, so it ain't much of an issue. The issue that ended the last filming has gone away. How interesting. How interesting. Oh, I don't even know anymore. Next we will be doing... who knows? I think we should do strengthen the Manchu Imperial Army, would be possibly the best option here to do. And then I reckon we go in and change the thing to scraping the barrel. Probably is the best option here. And then early mobilization also seems like a great option. And then see here if limited exports is available, we'll do that as well. Now, as you can see here, the Japanese very much have taken back advantage on the battlefield, which isn't good, but luckily we get to take some advantage back as well, because we have managed to push back and we've managed to begin to fight again, which is good. So we will begin the fight here, and we'll start advancing forward as quickly as possible to gain victory as soon as possible here. We hope. Anyway, we do hope. Also, we are trying to secure pocket down the bottom, down the south actually, down by South Korea, because the pocket would be nice down there. So we shall be working on that indeed, which shall be good, hopefully. But yeah, this video has definitely got a lot better than the previous attempts, which is good to see. I'll have to deal with previous attempts after filming today, or filming this, or who even knows anymore, because I certainly don't. And yes, it's currently 2:30 in the afternoon, which means this video might be slightly late. I'm going to try and make sure it's not, but you know, the amount of time it takes to export and stuff, who knows, it might be late, it might not, we'll see what happens. But yeah, and I control that one, just takes as much time as it wants to. Let's have a look at what we can select. But nothing important. So we're making sure to push up here as quickly as we can. I'm just going to completely pause the game here and redesign this entire front line because it is awful and needs redesigning anyway. Like, honestly, let's just redesign it. Right, so I'm going to put a new front line on here, new plan, one singular go at it, and not 100 different front lines trying to connect to each other. That doesn't work. So now it's just one connected, smooth front line. That should work a lot better than what we previously had, or at least that's the idea anyway. So that's the South Korean pocket completed and taken care of, and now we can properly begin here with taking small pockets as well, which we will start here now. Again, we'll try. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the Japanese. The Japanese exist. That's just the general problem we are in, is that they exist and they want territory off us. It's like, why? Why? Push them up to our new capital, because obviously we lost our capital, which isn't good, but that's alright. We'll deploy all of them. It should produce 41 divisions deploying straight. We'll take our 6 of them. Right, so that's 6 divisions taken out of there. Now these 6 divisions can go into this guy here, and then that gives us 35 divisions on the spare. So we'll take these 35 and we'll bring them down to 24. There you go. And now once we've got 24 divisions here, we'll assign them to a new general, and then once this general has got the divisions, here we go, he can then be sent down to go and manage not much, to be fair. He will just be set to stay where he is, I guess, and just be a sort of naval invasion support. That's going to be his main job now. But yeah, move the troops up here and hope that eventually we will start to advance quickly and efficiently in here. Now we've done strengthen the Manchu Imperial Army. Oh no, 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 no. Mistake happened there. Now we should fix that mistake. And hope that that should fix it at some point. Fix itself, please. Right. So we need to try and advance through here. But obviously the troops are not exactly in position yet, which isn't good. Right, so apparently they've decided to just cut us off into 2 here, which isn't good. It definitely isn't good here. We're definitely not in a great position. But luckily this isn't a proper game, this is just us mucking around. And it's actually coming towards the end of the video here, to be fair. So if you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on when you subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. And now it's time for the end of the video review. Overall I give Manchukuo a 9.8 out of 10, to be fair. It's so enjoyable to play. The upgrade's done, well done. I think Japan also was rated a little bit low by me, so I want to up that to 10 for Japan. I would say 10, probably 9.8, 9.9 out of 10 for Japan, because it was really fun and enjoyable to play as well. So China, I think, I think overall they've done a really good job on the DLC. It really flows quite nicely, it's quite enjoyable to play, and it's really well done. I would definitely recommend it, because for me it's really enjoyable, and I could possibly play this for hours on end, which I definitely have, because I've got almost 6,000 hours in Hearts of Iron 4 at this point. So I definitely do enjoy the game and do enjoy playing it. And I think this DLC has helped a lot in the Pacific area to make it a bit more fun and inviting, for players to play as countries like Japan, or Manchukuo, China, Chinese Soviet Republic, or some of the other new nations, for a challenge like trying to form China as the Shandong clique is quite an interesting challenge, and I think some players might quite like that. Also, I think Japan, you've got a lot of options of what you could do there. You could ally with Poland, ally with the Germans, or do something completely different. There's that sort of option now, which I think is quite good for them to have, because it gives you more unknowns about a game, and it allows you more sort of control over what you want to do and what sort of direction you want to go down in, which I think is really good, because obviously there are a devoted fan base of just stay historical, do historical things, but there are also people who, look at ahistorical, and I think having the ability to, go historical then go a slight bit ahistorical, I think is also quite nice to have. So overall, DLC gets 10 out of 10 for me. Really enjoyable, really good, and yeah, overall really happy with it. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and the next video will hopefully be on, let's think, what will it be on? Well, it could be on anything, to be fair. I don't know. Britain, I think, is the best option, to be fair, like a British naval game, just to have a little look at the Navy. So the next video, we'll be playing as Britain. I'll be having a look at the Navy in that video. So if anyone is saying, why haven't you probably checked out the Navy yet, stay around and tune in to tomorrow's video, where I do have a proper look at the Navy, and I give you guys a proper in-depth look at how the Navy is and my opinions on it. So make sure to tune in for that, and I shall see you all tomorrow for that. Bye for now. Bye.